So, is a Tudor a Rolex? A lot of people, for whatever reason, they gravitate towards the Tudor because they feel that it's not a Rolex. Because there's a lot of, Rolex haters, and they feel if they buy a Tudor, they're not buying a Rolex. Well, they are buying a Rolex. The money that goes towards that Tudor is going towards Rolex. The Rolex Foundation, it's going to Rolex no matter what. If you look at a Tudor, if you've ever worn a Tudor, if you have ever owned a Tudor, you look at the case backs, you look at the aesthetics, the durability, the way they're made, the quality, the craftsmanship, the polishing. If you really look at the polishing, because not a lot of watches polish, okay? Not a lot of brands polish as well as Rolex does. And if you look at the Tudor polishing, it's like identical, okay? All that, okay? The only thing that really separates is maybe some of the precious metals. I know they're not gonna do a rose gold Tudor. I haven't really seen that. I know they're not going to. They don't do a whole lot with, platinum or anything like that. But or most importantly to most people is not an in-house movement. Well, now Tudor has an in-house movement. So when you're buying a Tudor, you're in a lot of ways buying a Rolex. And, there's a lot of people out there, I'll mention, Guido Pelagos' channel, okay? He hates Rolex, okay? But he has a Tudor Pelagos. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there that despise Rolex and what they're doing and this and this and that. And I think in a lot of ways only because they're expensive and because everyone wants one. So there's a lot of haters. Like I've said in the past, they're doing something right. In order for you to hate something, or for people to hate something or knock on somebody, that means they're doing something right. That's what it equates to in a lot of ways. And I feel that eventually when Tudor, because Tudor is affordable still right now in most ways, but eventually they're not going to be affordable. I feel that they're going to keep growing and growing and growing, and they're going to price a lot of people out of the market, just the same way that Rolex is priced too high for a lot of people. For me also, I'm not going to go buy a $10,000 Rolex brand new, go buy a brand new Submariner. I'm not going to do it. I like to buy pre-owned. I like to buy, because you can buy great pre-owned watches. I bought many of them in different brands, and you can get good deals. So, I don't know. I think eventually people are going to have the same, they're going to think the same way about Tudor that they think about Rolex. That's what I'm thinking in this video. That's what this video is all about. Omega is pricing themselves the same way. They're pricing a lot of people, out of the market. There's a lot of people that years ago were able to buy Omegas, and they're not able to now. There's a lot of them. I mean, it's fucked up. It's wrong. I think it's wrong. There's no reason why you should be buying a $6,000 Planet Ocean, because you used to be able to buy a Planet Ocean for $3,000. And a few years ago, whatever. the inflation rate is way too high. That's why, like what Andy Hunter has said, it's like they're in a bubble. You know, eventually this shit's gonna go down. It's like our economy. That's gonna also blow up eventually. It's crazy. But you know, Tudor versus Rolex, they're one and the same in a lot of ways. And I feel that now that Tudor is so heavy in the U.S. market, the same thing is going to happen. It's going to be like they're going to turn into what Rolex is. It's going to happen eventually. I don't know how many years it's going to take, but they're headed that way. And the reason why they can go that way is because now they have a new in-house movement, and they're going to end up putting it in all their watches, and that's what we're going to see. But anyway, just wanted to bring that to you guys and see what you thought. Nobody's really talked about this. I don't know if anyone's really thought about it, but that's, you know, how I feel. And it's a good discussion. But anyway, thank you for all the subscriptions. I'm damn near 500, and you know, I'm slow moving, but it's happening. And you know what? Like I said, I could put out, you know, 5 videos a day like some channels do, and I just think it would not be as quality content, possibly, you know. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and you guys take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.